Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're back with another episode of Dualities Lie. For those of you tuning in, Dualities Lie is our D&D 5e homebrew campaign every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, or shortly thereafter, or before. If this is your first time tuning in to Graham Crackers, here at Graham Crackers we are all about making memories with friends, whether those are through TTRPGs, RPGs, or MMORPGs. The important thing is that you're doing it with the people you love. But tonight, as with all nights, we are joined by our wonderful DM, Media Flare. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. I am Media Flare. I'm going to be operating as the game master, storyteller, keeper of this adventure. Before we start, it does look like Kari needs a camera adjustment. We are only seeing the lower half of their face. Otherwise, the question I would pose to the party today would be, what is everyone's favorite environment? Like tundra, desert, etc. Take it away.
Ooh, all right. Hello, everybody. My name's Graham, and I am playing Captain Kellum Brightstar, your elven wizard today. And my favorite would have to be forest. Definitely like a dark forest. It's probably my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello everyone. It is me, Kari, and I am playing the Triton Artificer Wirin today. And my favorite environment, like as a player, is it player or as character?
Good choice. I did
Okay.
not specify.
Excellent. I really enjoy subterranean environments. I think they're really cool and nifty. Wirin, of course, likes ocean environments. She likes to be swimming. She likes to be in water. She doesn't often get to be in water.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeremy, or Dane Darkstride, as some others might know me, and I have the privilege once again to play with these fine folk as Second Lieutenant Elric Freyason of the Ensian military. And if we're doing both, my favorite environment is, of course, the forests. I live in the north, so I'm constantly around it, and I love it. But Elric himself, who grew up around somewhat of a wooded area, when he first saw the sea, was enamored with it. So he spent his professional career as a Marine in the sea, on the coast, so that's his favorite terrain.
Hi, I'm Riley. I'll be playing August West today, the Human Paladin. Personally, my favorite terrain would be like a deciduous forest, like Vermont, where I'm from, up here, or like a high elevation desert. I spent a lot of time down in Mexico in Saltillo, which is up on this big plateau in the mountains, and it's really cool. But Gus's favorite terrain, not airships right now. Not sure if he has a favorite going, but he's gotten things he's crossed off the list after recent events.
That's very valid. And let's shift some music over here and get back to the adventure. Now, we last left off with the party coming to the realization that they had lost a few members of their crew during a dragon attack. The civilian known as Guy and the infamous pirate Ghost Step Bill both expired during the crash landing. Deciding to take the ship down to the Shadelands, the nearest territory, and try and find someone who knows Bill in order to get some resurrection assistance, hopefully. Who is piloting right now? I'm assuming Kellum.
The one pilot.
Yeah, I'll be piloting.
All right. And where are we taking this vehicle to in the Shadelands?
I believe when we had messaged Parksy, she had kind of given us directions, at least nearby to land. Or maybe it was Bill that had
Yeah,
said
no,
where to
we had
land.
landed. We had landed and gotten directions of where to go
Oh.
last time. So we had
Okay.
already parked somewhere.
Okay,
At a dock.
yeah. And we were flying to... I have this in my notes. We're flying to go rejoin Vana,
Mm-hmm.
who is located... We have to land at Forktown? That's what I have?
Yes.
Yes! We're headed towards Forktown. That's where we're going.
Yes.
Part of me was like, did I write
Yes.
bad
Forked,
notes? Are my...
Yes. We're going to Forked Tongue, 3 streets down, 4 lefts, and ask for Vanna, and with the savings jar.
All right. So, Captain, since you are flying, if you can give me a history check, go ahead and roll with advantage because you grew up above this place.
Sure. History. That is a 21 with advantage.
So the Forked Tongue refers to a small trading town just inland where the river branches out in 2 directions in order to join the ocean. In the center, there's a small island that had become a town. So you at least know where to go. The ship still is flyable for now, so long as you do not hit anything. So it's not too much of a difficult flight to get everyone over there. Would you plan on landing nearby on the docks, in a field somewhere?
Probably wherever is going to be the most inconspicuous and have the least amount of visibility. Not saying like landing in a field, but I think I would be looking for a place to land that it wouldn't be out of the ordinary to see a ship there, but it wouldn't be the first place someone would look.
Okay. Who is proficient in survival?
Elric is proficient in survival.
All right, Elric and Moirin, you can be on lookout if you want to both give me survival checks to find a nice looking place to hide.
Alrighty, can do. I got a nat 20, so it's a 28.
Nice.
Elric got a 13.
All right. So Moirin manages to spot out a collection of willow trees that are encircling a small swampy area. The terrain itself seems to be solid enough to land the ship, but if you were to like leave it there for a 10-day, it might start to sink into the swamp. But for now, the ship flies in and lands in this ring of willows, and the wings fold up and tuck in, their little protective shell hiding their reflective surfaces, and the ship is landed.
Well, that wasn't so bad, I suppose.
Are
Great job
we
flying,
still going to
Captain.
bring them? Are we going to bring them here, or bring the body there?
I think perhaps it would be better if we go meet them first, tell them what's going on, and then plan that accordingly.
All right.
I believe we had talked yesterday about who was going to go in first, who was staying with the ship, right?
So it's me, and it's who else was it who was coming?
I believe it was me.
Right. Oh, good. Well, you'll all be all right here, right?
Yeah, we could get to work on some repairs, perhaps.
Might be able to help with
Very
that.
good. I do have some spare tools. I've left them in the common area, if you need them. And I think, just could we go over the directions just one more time?
Oh,
It's 3 streets down and 4 lefts, and ask for Vanna, right?
Yes, and that Parksy says we can use the savings jar.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm ready if you are.
Was that the directions? I should I should probably say Sealy, was that what Callum was told, who has a much better recollection of things?
Not gonna lie, I spaced out while Moira was giving directions, so if you want to repeat those.
Just for confirmation of 3 streets down, 4 lefts, and ask for Vana.
Gotcha. Okay, yep, that seems right.
Okay. Let's see. I'll have a spell available to contact you if needed. Let me know if you need anything. And good luck.
All right. We'll be back soon.
Woo. What does a story delve redemption do?
Oh my gosh, this might be the first time. That was when we have someone redeem it and we have a snippet of their backstory.
Yeah.
I think was like a small backstory reveal at some point.
Exactly. So I have a question here of Weirin, what is up with you knowing these eco-terrorists? Any reason it might affect you getting so sad when you've lost someone? Good question.
Damn.
This does affect it because Weirin's brother, her twin brother, is one of the eco-terrorists. The primary reason she is involved with them is because her brother fell into this crowd as a result of her best friend essentially coercing him into following her and her group that she had formed against the folks in Topsoil who had been known to be polluting Ceasefire for quite a while. So, backstory of Ceasefire, very briefly. Ceasefire and Topsoil were not always at peace. The more industrious Topsoil was frequently known to sort of disregard the environment around them and frequently dump pollution into the waters of Ceasefire, which caused a number of problems for the people who lived there. However, this was resolved with a treaty prior to when Weirin was born, but there were still a lot of people who were suffering those ill effects in Ceasefire that never really let go of that grudge, and her best friend was one of them. In addition to her having a personal grudge against Weirin for doing better at her at school. So in return, in retaliation, she took Weirin's brother into her culty little eco-terrorist group and has been using him ever since to execute her plans.
And that affects you when you lose someone?
It does because it affects her like a constant loss. She is constantly confronting the fact that her brother is in a situation where he could die at any moment, and there isn't a clear way for her to extricate him from this. So it's like every time she confronts him, it's, I know that you're alive, but I'm also confronting the fact that I might, 1, lose you, and 2, I might be the one that has to kill you. So Weirin is suffering with, I guess, a low grade trauma of loss of her brother, pretty much at various intensities since he joined the terrorist group. Not to mention the others in her town that have joined and have since passed, like that neighbor that she met the last time, who probably lived but could also die the next time she sees him.
All right. Thanks for the little lore dump, little treat to the audience. So, Elric and Moirin are heading into town. When you get off of this ship, you step down into moist, mossy terrain. What kind of shoes are both of you wearing? What's your footwear look like?
All right. Weirin is wearing on one foot a probably rubber-esque boot very much a boot that is designed to get wet often, with some amount of resistance to that, by whatever means. But her other shoe, for lack of a better term, is her solid bronze prosthetic, which has been treated against things like muck and water. So that's what she's got on her feet.
And Elric's wearing, I think, the typical military high leather supple boot that is probably weathered already and beaten. So
okay, so luckily both of you are a little prepared footwear wise, so you don't have to worry about getting wet socks or anything. But the terrain is a little mushy and a little difficult to traverse. Do you have any benefits as a ranger for navigating through swamps?
that is a negative. He does not. He's not used to traveling through swamps.
Okay. So if the two of you want to give me survival checks to travel through these willows and creeping vines and kudzu everywhere.
17 for Elric.
22 for Muirin.
All right. So although the terrain is not giving a good first impression, it is not very hostile as you navigate through. It probably takes you about 10, 15 minutes of walking to get to a clearing in which you can see the glow of a beautiful little town on a chunk of land in between the river opening up into the ocean. More of a coastal terrain now. What would the two of you have chatted about while heading towards the city?
I think there might have been some awkward silence before Muirin asked about Rex, actually. So she'd start off with they've probably been walking, a good 5 minutes before she pipes up with it. So how's Rex doing? Was he any better when we left?
I can't say for sure. I'm not a dragon expert, but he seemed pretty upset, pretty discomforted with at least with all those changes.
Poor thing. How did you get him anyway? They're not exactly, common.
Well, that's kind of an interesting story, I should say. It's a very short story, but and as he says this, his voice does shake for a moment. With the did I tell you that I escaped in a crate? The incident.
I don't recall, but in a crate?
Well, long story short, Captain Brightstar's ship was attacked. I happened to be on that ship, and my mentor told me to escape and ordered me to escape in a crate. Being the good soldier that I am, I jumped in the crate. Next thing I know, I'm falling, and there's this explosion. Meanwhile, in my lap, suddenly, there is this creature. I don't know how long we fell. I think I blacked out during it. But next thing I know, when I woke up, there it was. And the first name I could think of was Alexandria. I don't know why. It just kind of popped into my head.
Well, I'm glad that you have him. is what she settles on, because that was definitely like a roller coaster of emotions. Especially since she has a visceral feeling of exactly what it feels like to have your ship fall out of the sky and crash horribly. But beyond that, she just sort of like pats his arm and says, "Thank you for telling me."
Well, I suppose it's the least I could do, considering, well, one, you've helped out quite a bit, and two, you shared a bit of your history.
It's nothing really. I'd rather be here helping than not. So
Well, it's commendable. Despite the danger, you being here and trudging through this jungle
it's not
with
that bad, really.
strangers.
It's not quite so bad. I mean, now I have a lot of new friends that I wouldn't have had otherwise. Um, it's been a little hard to make friends. I've been really busy. Uh, Real nose to the grindstone sort of person, and she's a little nervous as she's going through this as they're walking. But like I said, I'd rather be here helping than not. And really, if I was home, I'd be doing essentially the same thing. So it's not that bad.
Elric would, I think, stop mid walk and be like, hold out his hand and offer to shake yours. It's a pleasure to meet you officially. Oh, I'm Elric Freyes, and I'm glad to make your friendship.
And she's just sort of is surprised at that, but then eagerly extends her hand, which I believe is it her left or her right? I don't know, but one of those. She extends the proper one to meet your hand and shakes it quite eagerly. It's really nice to meet you, Elric. Lieutenant Elric? Should I call you Lieutenant?
Probably better that you did.
All right, just Elric then. It was really nice of you to help me that morning, Elric.
Well, there's a part of me that feels that if I hadn't stopped, you might not be mixed up in all this.
Honestly, with how the rest of that day went, I'm not too sure I wouldn't have.
Who's to say?
Anyway, I'm happy I'm here.
As am I.
Lit. And she's got a bright smile as she continues to tromp through the swamp.
All right. So, while these two are heading into town, you mentioned repairs and stuff. What is August and Kellum up to?
August used his mending spell once and then has spent the rest of the time just following Kellum around, not being much use in the actual repairs. More annoying than useful, actually, a little bit.
Yeah, I think Kellum has like a permanent like pinch on his like the crook of his nose, and is just like, oh my gosh. After that mending spell was used, I think Kellum would be checking on the critical systems of the ship. Anything he feels he's potentially capable of repairing or attempting to, I think he would start working on. Going with most critical damages first. What can he haphazardly shape together, whether it is, him having to use any of his spells. Let's see, I don't know if I have any useful spells for this, but no, not prepared today, because I haven't rested. And I need to remind myself I have exhaustion from last session. So I think Kellum will just have like a wrench, and it looks like it does not belong in Kellum's hand, is the easy way to put it. Is, if anyone was watching, Kellum is like definitely like looking at some of the instruments that Moirin has left behind, is like, I don't know what this is. Screwdriver? Is that a type of wand? But I think I would direct anything that needs like brute force. Like, I believe the dragon at one point, its first attack did the most damage to the ship. So I think there are probably some bent metal, like, pieces of the ship, and I think he would be using August to kind of press and hold as I just kind of firebolt and try and, like, melt small amounts to, like, fasten it together. Like a makeshift weld.
They need a weld spell.
Yeah.
Heat metal.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's called heat metal, and then use artificer tools. It looks like.
So the two of you are attempting to fix the little metal frame that once held the intricate bug-eyed window, which shattered upon impact with a whale in the middle of the sky.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, have you ever been here?
Been in the swamp? Been...
Well, wherever we are.
I've been here a few times. I haven't been here frequently, and I haven't been here a lot, but I have been here a few times.
Are the people here people we can trust, or?
You know, if you'd asked me that a few weeks ago, I might have said yes. But I'm starting to think that no matter where you are, there's very few you can trust in general.
Yeah. If we're gonna stick together, we're gonna need to find we're gonna find more food.
Yeah, I don't have the means to conjure any food myself. It's not a spell that I have or know. I know some other people have it. I just don't. We are in a swamp. Perhaps there are animals, frogs. I don't know if I've ever had frog, but
It's better than rat.
have you had rat before?
On occasion. It's anyway, well, what I'm trying to allude to is if we're gonna travel together, we're gonna have to find something to fund our journey. We've been running into nothing but trouble, but logistics have to be thought of here.
I agree. I think not that August will be able to see this probably,
Yeah.
but
Well, if you're within 10 feet, he can.
then yes, you will. Kellum reaches to his right ear and starts idly playing with 3 pearl earrings. One is red, one is white, and one is black that are all along the ridge of his ear. And he reaches into his coin purse and flips a gold coin towards you.
August catches it in the air.
Well, I can officially say that was my last gold coin. So I do agree we should find a way to acquire more. I don't...
But between the two of us, we've got one.
That's one more than nothing. But is there anything that you think we could sell that we got from our misadventure so far? Is there anything that still remains in workable condition? Is there anything that...
Well, I don't know if we have anything to sell, but maybe ourselves. We put up a pretty good fight. There's always somebody willing to pay for that.
You're not wrong there. Perhaps, do I know of any, like, guilds or any... If there are, like, adventuring guilds or any businesses that typically would have employed, individuals with a penchant for violence or adventuring?
Well, from basic knowledge, you would know that there are various mercenary groups and adventuring parties just because of the way society runs. If you want some like local names, you can give me a history check.
Sure, I'll do it at... Would you like me to do it at disadvantage?
Negate it out because you are using local memory, but you do have disadvantage.
Okay. All right. History. Flat roll of history. That would be a 12.
So there's some sort of fight pit in either this or a neighboring city that you remember. And there also is a volunteer hunting party you can join in order to collect food in the wilderness with assistance from others and a shared bounty in distribution. Other than that, there aren't really any famous mercenaries or adventurers out of this city
Okay.
besides Bill.
Well, not that I've ever gone, but I did read about a fight pit, either here or somewhere near here. If you're looking to punch people for coin, or something so British like that. Alternatively, if we just need food, there are joint hunting parties you can join that go out collectively and gather whatever they can get and then share the spoils.
I'm not much of a hunter, but do they gamble at these fighting pits?
I would guess. Like I said, I've never been there. Gambling's not really my style. I definitely prefer books. They don't try to punch me in the face over a pint, usually.
Let me think about it. We're gonna need to come up with some coin.
Let's see. Have you? I mean, you said that you were kind of betrayed by someone a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Who's dead?
Yeah, haven't we all been?
Yeah, seems to be a common occurrence these days, at least with the company we keep. Can you pass me that wrench? Thank you.
While the two of you think about different ways to earn coin, survival, as well as repair on the ship, these two here manage to enter into the city proper of the Forked Tongue. It's like early in the evening, the sun is gone, but there is still some low light. But these lovely magical lanterns are being lit throughout the city, and you two approach from the west side across this long, well-kept wooden bridge with a sort of like wicker lattice along the sides of it. The sounds of music can be heard throughout the streets, and everything has a bit of a mixture of a gold and green theming to all of the buildings. There's a little bit of brick red in it. It looks like a lot of the houses here, at least the first generation, were built out of the clay found in the soil. And there's a modest amount of people out and about. They didn't recently have as much of a wild event as y'all, so they don't have any panic about dragons. There is no pirates stealing airships here right now. So you are in a nice, calm town. The majority of people you see passing are a mixture of lizard folk, elves, orcs, and Goliaths. There are a few short folk, but due to the difficult terrain around the area, not a lot of them live in the Shadelands without magical assistance or staying in a heavily populated city.
Well, did we get any sort of bearing from, what was their name?
Parksy. Mm-hmm. Not sure. I just remember go to Forked Tongue, 3 streets down, for this and ask for Vanna.
Yes, but like
I mean, if they knew we were on an airship, maybe there's an official dock or something they're directing us from.
suppose we should get looking. And Elric will cast over his mantles as to hide his face, which is most likely covered in mud and clay anyways, so hopefully it'll be harder to recognize.
Yeah, so I guess as they're getting into town, are there people on the streets?
Yes, like I said, it's relatively busy. There's a mixture of lizard folk, orcs, Goliaths, etc.
All right, Weirin is going to approach someone who looks the most approachable at the moment, and start politely asking some questions.
Is this Moira's first time off country?
It is. I don't think it's the first time, but most of the other times that she has been out of Topsoil and Ceasefire has been for academic conferences. Mm-hmm. So there's only been a very limited places that she has been, and with a very tight itinerary as well. Okay. So she hasn't really been like let out amongst people without that before. So she's bright and enthusiastic, but her ability perhaps to choose these people is not perhaps the best.
So can you give me an insight check to try and figure out what is considered an approachable person in this country?
Sure. Sure. Let's go with... Oh, man. I got lucky. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you, dice. Insight check. Where's my insight? Yeah, thank God. That was going to be necessarily. So that is a 21.
Alrighty. So there is a pair of lizard folk playing some sort of board game on a table on one of the streets that you head down once you first get here. You approach the two of them. What do you say?
Sorry, excuse me. I hate to interrupt your game, but we're a little bit turned around. We're looking for someone named Vanna. We got some directions, but they didn't exactly tell us where to start from.
You don't sound local. Where you from, little child?
Oh, well, I'm from Ceasefire. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but I'm here with my friends. We just touched down the other day, and we're looking for a fellow friend.
Well, I don't know anyone by that name, so I cannot help you. And the other, they look to the other lizard folk and they shake their head as well. Well, welcome to this fair city. Is there any directions I can give you and your companion there?
Well, you might not know their name, but I'm told that they're a healer of some sort. Do you know, I guess, where the nearest healers is?
The other one chimes in, Church in town provides services.
All right, well, what direction's that?
Oh, you go ahead and get down to the docks. There's a main road you can take. And if you head on down to the center of the city, you'll find a temple with about seven different religious icons on it.
Well, thank you very much. So sorry to interrupt you again. Nice meeting you both. And then she cheerfully waves and would follow those directions to that main town, gesturing Elric along with her towards that main street they directed her to.
Elric will follow and be hyper vigilant with the people about.
Mentioning hypervigilance, can you give me a perception check?
Of course. That is 17.
So as the two of you head down towards the docks and this main road described, Elric, you notice over your shoulder that they don't return to the game that they're playing. They seem to just watch the two of y'all as you head into the city for a while until you are out of view.
Elric will, I think, move up to Moirin to whisper or relay that information to her. To just be vigilant, and not everybody that we meet's going to be so nice.
She just looks confused for a second. I'm like, but she sort of like gives him a confused, then nods, just looking so perplexed.
You get to the docks, which are very expansive here and of different sizes. There are a few flying fish landed here, a couple of actual seafaring vessels. There are some kind of like pontoon platforms set up along the river for lighter ships to land that do not have the capacity to land in water. Um, there's quite a lot of merchant exchanging going on, even this late in the evening, as it feels like a 24-hour town kind of deal. It gets even busier as you're on this main road, as there are a mixture of merchants and locals moving about.
All right, so we've gotten to that main road. We're seeing the merchants and such. I think from here, Weirin will go ahead and follow to that temple. And just, yeah, head along. But she is notably a little bit more wary. She's taking more sweeping looks of the crowd. Elric has clearly gotten her to, like, think a little harder about how she's moving.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a little just more wary. But she still tries to appear confident and like she knows where she's going.
All right. Can both of you give me a perception check, and also Moylan give me a performance check?
All right. Perception is, what's the word? Perception is 19, and oh my god, her performance is a 25. I was not expecting that.
Elric rolled a 23.
Okay. So attempting to travel through the city looking like you belong here, as well as not drawing too much attention, the two of you head through this main street. There is a kind of a damp brick road along the center of town, wide enough for carts to travel in opposite directions without interfering with each other. There are a few people playing various instruments on the street sides. There are some wonderfully dressed people in local attire. And eventually you get to a part in the city where there is a large old building in the center of the steeple. It looks like there is a religious symbol that's been there for a long time, and below it, four more additional religions were added up like vertically, and then eventually two more at the top to kind of make a Y.
Well, Elric's not proficient in religion. Could he make a guess, or has he seen these before in other places that he's been, such as
Go ahead and
Ansia
make
or
a
Belmont?
religion check.
So, not any better. That's a 12 for Elric.
And Weirin has a 14 in religion.
Okay. So the two of you can recognize most of the symbols as the earth, air, fire, and water deities. and then there is two at the top representing the two Fey deities, the moons that are always visible in the twilight sky. And then the eldest one is not one of the ones you've seen around very often. Unable to identify it. Doesn't have like an evil presence or anything, but
Cool beans. Well, it seems like the place.
I mean, I guess we can go in and ask. I'm sure most healers tend to know each other in other places, right?
Who's to say? I'm not a healer.
She just sort of pouts at that. She's like, that's how it works where I'm from. But she's going to go ahead and go in because really they haven't much of a better chance of orienting themselves. So she puts on her game face and would head into the temple and attempt to look for someone to ask.
inside the temple, it's a bit of a change in atmosphere. The music outside becomes muffled and the crowded streets empty, as it looks like there are very little persons inside this modest-sized temple. There are different sections set up for various elemental worship, and a central podium for whoever is running the show at the time. There are two people near the water shrine. Looks like some sort of couple. And there is an elderly human in the back, kind of wiping down some of the counters.
What do you think?
But I think that we should ask one of them. And Elric will move to the... You said they're at the water altar?
Yeah, the couple?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever, I think, religious acknowledgement and adherence, Elric may follow the water elemental, being that he was on the sea for a good majority of his adult life. So he would pay respects and then turn to the couple and motion Moira over.
Oh yeah, she's just sort of scurrying after you at that, and it's just like, hey.
Pardon me. We hate to be a disturbance, but we're in need of some assistance.
The one closer to you gestures at you while looking at the person they're with. The two of them look like wood elves mixed with something else, possibly Goliath or half-orc, as there is a green-gray tint to their skin, and they are taller and a little bit more wider built than the average half-elves. And the other one looks and goes, "What kind of problem are you looking to solve?"
Well, we're looking for someone named Vanna. We know they're a healer, but we don't know exactly where they are.
Well, we never met anybody who was given their names too freely around here, so I don't know anyone by that name. I am sorry.
Our apologies.
Sorry.
And no offense was given.
Have a good day.
I guess they'll make their way to the... Because is he on the way out, or is he like in the backpack wiping down the counters?
They're up in that central podium, kind of wiping down the that center pillar.
Okay. And do they look like they work here, or like that they're a healer?
It looks like that they probably work here to some degree. They're not wearing any particular like ceremonial robes or anything. Simple traveling clothes.
Well, should we try him next?
No harm in trying. We might ask if they do the sort of services here, I guess, but I mean, this place doesn't have the savings jar.
I suppose not.
Excuse me, sir? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do you happen to be a healer here?
Ain't got no magical skills. Just here to clean and tend.
Oh, well, we're in sort of a need, for someone with some pretty, well, I guess advanced sorts of healing magics. Do you know who we'd need to see for that?
Robert Shaw's in the back. I usually tend to those types of things. What's your problem going on? You got something ailing you that we can help you with?
It's not exactly ailing us in particular. We have a few friends who need the help, but I'd rather talk about it with the healer if that's all right. I don't mean to be rude, but
Give me a persuasion check.
sure. Huzzah! Oh my god, she's persuasive. Why am I so good at things? I don't remember that. Apparently, Warren is very persuasive. That is a 24. So I have a plus 11 in persuasion for some reason.
Right, well, I understand. Give me a moment and I will go get them. And they leave the rag on the podium. Turn and head towards a small door in the back and poke their head in and disappear for a moment. While the two of you are alone.
Promising.
This entire time, Elric's been watching Moirin more so interact with these people. Has everyone that she's interacted with so far seemed reluctant to tell her anything because maybe she's a stranger to these parts?
Give me an insight check.
18.
It definitely seems like there's been a pattern of people being unable to give any personal information, but they're able to give you information about the town at least. And what you've been gathering is that there is a bit of observation going on from the locals with the two of yous.
Okay. Noted.
And the door in the back opens up, and the human walks up and takes their rag and nods at the two of you and heads towards a different surface to begin working. And behind them is stepping out from the back room is a very short-statured dwarf, feminine figure, long, braided gray hair, wrinkly eyes so sagged that you cannot see their eyes as they step out and put their hand on the podium and kind of look towards the two of you. And I'm looking to get some services.
Yes, that was us. And she would lower her voice to speak. We have two people who are, well, on the other side of alive.
Open.
We
don't deal with those types of illegal marriages.
No, we're trying to get them back on the correct side of alive.
Conversion, then. All right. What type of changing into deities are we looking at?
Um, not that either. Well, they're dead, and we don't want them to be dead.
Oh, why
Can you
didn't you
fix
just
that?
say that from the start? Hey, where's the body? I don't see. I see so good, but I don't see any corpse here. Nor did I get notified of.
Well, we were having trouble finding anyone at first, and we felt that like maybe hauling dead bodies around wasn't, well, the best thing to do in a town. They're back.
I figure it didn't.
Back with our friends. Should we bring them here then? Is there somewhere else we should bring them?
Well, we can't provide services to something that is not here, so we would need you to bring the body. How long has this deceased been such?
She looked at Elric for confirmation. She's trying to count back.
2 days now, right? Or two.
I think 2 days.
All right, then. It sounds like we can do a regular resurrection service. Average price for a singular soul is about 2,000 gold.
Who's here? Sees a second. I'm sorry. Did you say 2,000 for one?
That's right, no? Standard prices around here.
Do you have like a newcomer's discount or, anything like that?
Well, I suppose I don't like seeing return customers when it comes to this kind of stuff, so I suppose everyone's a first timer when it comes to resurrection services. But no, it's a firm price there at a towner. We have to spend resources to bring this person back, and there's always the off chance that we're dealing with a non-consensual resurrection, and we have to be prepared for that type of energy exchange.
Right. I understand. We were also hoping to look for someone we told was going to be here, a mutual friend. Do you know anyone by the name of Vanna, perchance?
I don't know anybody by a name around here. I can't guide you to anyone in particular. However, we do have a local volunteer security if you are dealing with a missing person.
I suppose. Could you give me directions to them then?
All right, yes. Well, you go ahead and head on down to the docks. There's a main road there that you can use to travel down the spine of the town, and you go ahead and head down till you get to there's a temple with a lot of symbols on it, and if you go ahead and just pull 180, spin right there on the street, you'll find yourself at the right place.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
And she just turns to Elric and motions just down towards the door, and then she lowers her voice. I think maybe Parksy's directions are from that main road.
Makes sense to me.
All right, we'll try that first, and then if that fails, we'll go to this security force or something.
I'm not sure, but did Bill, was it, give you their surname?
No, I mean, I only know their, criminal name? Is that bad? And I guess their first name, Bill. And their full name, Bilaniel. No, I don't recall. But I don't think spreading around their normal, moniker would be helpful, necessarily.
Then perhaps we're wrong, or we're asking the wrong type of people. and we should find the shadiest person that we can find.
I'm gonna let you take the lead on that, if you don't mind.
Elric will go find a shady person.
Give me an insight check to what you would perceive as shady in this country.
Well, it's more so I think he would go to probably like a local dive or something that looks rowdy.
You're trying to find
And,
some drinking hole somewhere.
Yeah, it's a good place to start. It happens in all the cop movies, so that's what I'm going off of.
Okay. Give me an investigation check to look around town for a place to drink.
Gosh, I'm rolling so weird today. 8.
Well, there are a couple of different places you see where people are drinking ciders and wines and stuff, but one being seedier than the other, it is hard to tell around here as everyone has the same bright, festive kind of aesthetic.
It doesn't seem to be a seedy place at all. This is quite lovely.
But you do find a couple of places to drink if you want to stop in on one of them.
Well, anyway, let's orient ourselves from the docks and that main road and see if we can follow those directions. And if that doesn't work, well, we'll try your thing again.
As you say.
All right. So she's gonna bring them back to the docks and then follow the 3 streets down and 4 lefts that she was indicated.
All right. So you had 3 cross streets down from the loading dock, and 4 lefts. You're turning and heading down like the left-turn street. Then.
Yes.
All right. So you turn left and head down the road until you get to the next cross street, in which you turn left and head down a little bit, and then left again, and then left again, and you find yourself standing where you began when you first started taking your lefts. However, there is a goblin sitting on a barrel nearby, kind of plucking at a small metallic string on a little guitar or banjo instrument.
Seems like the 2 of you are a little lost.
Suppose. We were given some directions and they led us here.
Very well.
We're looking for someone named Vanna. Do you know them?
That all depends on who's asking.
Someone who's friends with Bill?
Well, I suppose I do know who you are talking about, yes. If you give me a right moment, I'll come on right back with them, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And they hop off their little barrel and into the building you had just walked around, and coming out, holding a spatula in one hand, the spatula itself the size of like a short sword, and wearing some kitchen clothes, steps out from the building a Goliath, and she looks down at all of y'all with her hands on her hips, and I suppose you are the people who are looking for me?
I think so. Are you Vanna?
That all depends on who you are.
We're friends of Bilaniel. And, well, they're not well. And we're trying to make them well. We might want to go inside.
I'm sorry, are you friends of Bill's or something? I'm sorry, I don't like pirates in my house, so I would have to say we would go somewhere else.
We're not pirates, but Bill's, and she steps a little closer and then lowers her voice. Dead.
Sorry, I did not hear you right.
Bill's dead. And her voice like chokes a second when she has to like say those words. We'd like to fix that. Parks, he said there was a jar.
Give me a moment. She turns, heads back inside. Two of you are left alone for a minute.
Strangely enough, I am terrified.
Worse.
Do you see that spatula?
Hey, why is it so big? What is she?
Stepping back outside, the Goliath does not have their spatula anymore, but they do have a small jar. The jar itself is cracked and resealed with silver, gold threading, glue, and it is small to them. Looks like a coffee mug, but is about this big when handed to y'all. Well, I suppose that this was eventually going to catch up to her at some point, being what with the life that she lives. So, there's the savings jar. Go ahead and take care of business the way you need to.
Thank you very much. Ironically, it wasn't that piracy. We got attacked by a dragon. But thank you again. Really appreciate it. And she'd step back. And I guess show the jar to Elric. And try and see if that's enough. Because 2,000's a lot of money.
Well, I suppose Elric will try to either estimate or count without wholly taking the money out.
What money?
Or the whatever's in the jar, I guess.
Oh, no, it is a jar.
It is
There
just
are
a
no
jar, there
contents
is
on
nothing
the
in.
inside of this jar.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Interesting. But it's sealed with silver and gold. Or was
Y'all
that
look
just like,
disappointed?
I mean, we didn't really know what to expect. But that's problematic. I suppose.
Sorry, you expected to loot something more from Bill?
No. We're trying to put Bill back.
Oh, yeah? Well, I am terribly saddened about hearing all this news about the passing, the alleged passing, the ghost step Bill.
And we just look so confused. Like, why would I lie about her dying?
If I might ask, what is your relation to Ghost Step Bill?
More than I would want, but I am related to them by blood.
Where it gets like this horrified look on her face, like, oh my god, you are? Well, as next of kin, I suppose, what would you like done?
Well, I'd like people to stop walking around town asking by my name.
Well, that's easy enough, since we found you.
Otherwise, I will believe that Bill is dead when I see her corpse delivered onto my porch. Otherwise, enjoy your savings jar, and I hope we are done with this conversation.
Yeah, no, that's pretty clear. Thank you, Miss Vanna.
Don't call me Miss Nothing, little child.
Now we know where the porch is. Let's go get Bill.
And then they scurry off from whence they came.
She stands with her arms folded outside her house and watches until you two get out of view. All right. Met Vana.
Yeah, sure did.
I like her.
Weir's not sure how she feels about this place. And she says as much on the way back. I'm not sure how all of that went. What do you think?
Well, we didn't get cleaved in half with that spatula. So all in all, I think we made out pretty good.
Do you think Parksy knows their saving jar is empty?
I don't know, Parksy. But could be.
Should we hold on to it? She's just been holding the jar this whole time. An empty jar.
Perhaps it's best. I can take it for you if you'd like.
Oh no, that's all right. It's not like heavy or anything. I guess I'll keep it until we get back. She'll probably expect it to be where it was left.
Quick dark vision check for Elric and Moyden. Yes, no?
I got dark vision, I think.
Okay.
Elric does not.
I do. I do. I got 60 feet.
All right. Well, on your way back, it is now fully in the evening. And once you leave the well-lit city, it is going to be pitch black swamp. Unless you turn on a torch or create light in some way.
Hold on just 1 second. Because I think Pearl emits light. If I ask her to.
Ah.
I'm not entirely certain. I need to check that. But I think it does.
Did the party have a long rest coming in? Like, was it just Cram that didn't, or Kellum that didn't?
Now that you mentioned that, how long were they gone? Because if I could get a long rest of 4 hours, I probably would.
I want to say, yeah, if you can, those of you who don't do a full long rest via meditation or whatever stasis chamber you enter into, it has been at least 4 hours that the party has been gone, or that this half of the party has been gone.
Okay, then yeah, I definitely probably would have gotten a rest in.
Otherwise, if there are no light sources, do you have a torch or anything you can turn on?
I believe I might. Hold on, I'm looking at my stuff.
Elric does have a torch. The reason
good.
I ask is because he does have dark vision, but it's a spell. So he's got to cast it. But he ran out of all of the spells in the attack, so.
Gotcha.
She also has a torch, so yeah, we're good on torches. She also has candles.
All right, so you two light up then?
Mm.
All right.
Or at least we light one torch at the very least, because I don't think they need two.
Fair. All right, so torch in hand, you get a dimly lit, sort of spooky and surreal environment that you walk through. Give me a survival check to navigate your way back home.
Not so good this time.
Hot dog. That's a 25.
Whew. So Muirin is great when she can see. Not so great in the dark. That's a 9.
All right. So it takes you a bit longer than you prepared for. So by the time you two get back to the ship, it's been probably 6-7 hours since you have left. Go ahead and tack on a point of exhaustion navigating through the swamp and back. And you two return to a slightly refurbished damselfly, and I'm assuming somewhere inside the ship would be Gus and Callum discussing their strategies.
Welcome back.
Hello, we're back.
Welcome back.
Well, we found Vanna and also the savings jar. She holds up the empty jar. We also found the temple. and raises cost 2,000 coin. But apparently Vanna is Bill's relative and isn't quite believing us that she's indisposed, so she wants us to bring the body to her.
Please tell me this ship is operational. I hate airships, but I'm not trudging through the jungle.
The swamp was pretty
Do you want me to fly to the
It's a
docks?
trick.
I mean, I can fly to the docks if that's what you want me to do. I can do that. You know, here's how I imagine it. You know, we'll fly over there. We'll land in the middle of the night. People say, "Oh, ship's landing. That's bizarre." And then 4 of us will roll out carrying a body.
Not really. There's
Two
lots of
bodies.
other ships, and it
2
seems
bodies.
actually very busy. It's fairly busy, and a lot of people don't like it when you notice them. So I don't know that anyone's going to be watching us all too close if we at least know where we're going and what we're doing, and we look like we're doing it. We can always put them in I don't know, something that doesn't look like bodies. Do we have crates? Are there crates?
You do have one less of the barrels in the back, but you do have a barrel. I think there's any crates lying around.
We could hide him in that. As long as they aren't too stiff.
You want to put 2 bodies in a barrel.
At least one of them. I don't know if we can transport both at once.
Well, you know, I guarantee that's how Bill would have wanted, is to be stuck in a barrel.
She's not going to be very happy at all. Generally, I don't think. But I think she'd prefer being alive than dead, so it's just going to be how it is.
It's a fair point. She can kill us when she gets back, I suppose.
Hey.
Secondly, about gold. That's the more important thing. I've noticed that is dreadfully empty.
Mm.
I would bargain probably not 2,000 gold worth. But give me 10 minutes and I can probably tell you if it's magical.
I was gonna say,
Sure.
when Elric opened it, like nothing happened, right?
Yeah, you took the little lid off of the jar, and there is an empty containment system.
I will cast ritual cast identify on it, if allowed.
Exactly. While it takes him the 10 minutes to do that, I'm going to be getting Bill's body into a barrel, I think.
Elric will help you stuff a body into a barrel.
That's happening. Okay, so let me just double check.
Gus is just watching them do this. That's
She's Muirin absolutely is talking to the body like it's still alive and is like apologizing, especially when she jostles her too hard or shoves her too hard.
All right.
Just-
So rigor mortis sets in.
Sorry.
Well,
Sorry.
begins to set in after the 2-hour mark. It has been probably about 10 hours since they have expired. So these 2 are stiffed bodies. They are currently in plank form because they've been laying on cots. So how are you 2 storing 2 bodies in a barrel?
Oh no, not 2. 1.
Just the one.
She-
Okay, so we're
she's
bringing
just
one
doing
body
Bill.
at a time. All right.
I don't know. Maybe she has a 2 for deal, and we can just get it all done.
2 for 1! Oh my god.
Exactly, like, I don't know. Definitely just trying the 1 first. And then would maybe attempt to see if there was room for another. But yeah, definitely 1 first.
So how are you getting Bill in the barrel?
I am wondering.
Because they currently stick out like a straw in a soda can. Yep, there we go.
Correct. Actually, I think she's got alchemical reagents and such on her. Would there be anything that she could use on the fly that might help
let's
this
not go.
situation?
Let's not go Breaking Bad on this.
You're,
No,
are you talking about like
um,
melting the body down?
No.
How bad
Absolutely
would it
not.
stick out at night? I mean, we could just wrap it up in a blanket, right, and just like carry
You
it.
can put it on a
Mm-hmm.
stretcher, a
Yeah.
handmade stretcher.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody did seem pretty nonchalant when we were asking about healing and bringing back the body. So
Don't expect it'll actually be that bad.
at this point, probably
And
will
it's
be,
really
but
close to the docks, actually. Like, really close. Once you follow the directions.
Haven't you guys ever moved a body before?
No,
Well-
is that a normal thing people do? Is moving
Did a
bodies?
rock- I
Is that
have.
something?
Do we have
I mean,
a
I
rock?
have. I've worked on people,
tarp, a
but
sail?
I always have like an entire team of people, and we have a stretcher, and there's signs, and everyone knows that they're getting healing, so it's like not even a problem. So I don't even know why this is a problem. And she's just frustrated. She stomps her little foot.
Get a rug or a piece of sail. Whatever we have that we can wrap the body in. We can carry it like we're supposed to be there.
People with stretchers are supposed to be there. Why can't you just carry her to where she's supposed to be?
A lot more fun to wrap Bill in a sail or shove him in a barrel.
Looks at you like that, and then she's just despondent a second because she knows that you're right. Like, knowing who Bill is, she knows that you're right.
Bill would have wanted us to be as dramatic as possible.
Exactly, like that part of her. You hear it in the silence. Gus, like you have never seen Weirin, but you hear it in that silence as just the subtlety of her kelp heads sinking, a little sigh. She goes, fine. I think there's a rug in that main live-in area, isn't there?
are the cots detachable? Because
They
they're already
are,
in a cot,
yes.
right? Yeah.
There are cots. They're secured via screws, so they can be unsecured.
Yeah. So Elric already broke a chair and is starting to wrap the cot into a stretcher for him. It's like we need to get this situated or go to bed. Either way, I'm extremely exhausted.
Well, I'll get on the helm. I had a good long rest. I'll get us over to the docks. What does Identify tell me about the jar?
The jar is non-magical. It is a mundane object.
Oh, okay.
Poor jar. Poor Parksy in their empty jar.
Well, does it look like finely made or anything like that?
Give me an insight check.
Sure. That is a 13.
Not particularly. It probably has some value. The aesthetic is liked around this place. You could probably get some coin off of it, but this isn't like a baby-sized diamond or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not magical. It's not a jug of holding, I suppose. But it could fetch a pretty penny, perhaps, or perhaps Vana emptied it out before we got there, because we're a bunch of strangers. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to get on the helm. We should also discuss coin. You said it was what, 2,000?
2,000 per soul.
Is that a lot?
Gus
She
steps
just
up.
looks at him, and there's a whole moment.
Gus steps
Ke-
up.
Kellum is genuine. Kellum is like, I do not have a good grasp on money.
I think the whole ship stops and looks at you like, dude.
Just
Well, like, think about it. He's like, military requisitions. You think I stamp?
Oh,
I stamp and they pay for it.
precisely,
why-
which is why Weirin is having a moment of, yes, Kellum, 2,000 coin is quite a lot. um, 500 coin is quite a lot that most people don't have. I think my entire graduate budget was something more like 500 coin, and that was for all of us, for all of our study things.
I
Did
don't
Bill
know.
have
good
any?
month.
Did Bill have anything on them that we could sell, if we
Well-
need to? I'm not talking about the boots. I'm not talking about the boots. I know something we could sell that Bill won't murder us for when they come back.
That's well, there's all their jewelry, but
Bill
I mean,
can
you
buy
said not-
fancier
not-
jewelry when Bill is alive, though. If we really have to scrounge for coin.
exactly, we're just like cringing at the thought of just messing with the body more. But she's like, I guess let's get the body to the next of kin, and then we worry about money. And honestly, then we worry about sleep. God, I'm exhausted. What time is it?
Time is very late. And I will go fly the ship. Let's see. I don't have any good spells. I had no good spells prepared. So I will fly the ship.
All right. Well, it is not a difficult flight, just a simple takeoff and landing since you're just a few minutes away, and it is a well-lit dock, so you don't need any guidance. You do find an opening pontoon platform for you to put your dainty little mosquito legs down on and get back into a landing position. As your ship touches down, two dock workers start pulling and securing the platform closer to the docks proper so that you can step off immediately.
As we land and I step off, is there like a dock master or anything like that on the docks currently? Like,
If you look around, you do see a few different people who are talking to different shipmasters with like clipboards. Not entirely sure which of them would be the dock master, but there are dock workers at least.
okay, so I guess I will. Oh, I didn't practice. I don't have disguise self, so I guess I'm just gonna pull like a cowl over my head. We should probably. I bet there would be someone that would be willing to pay information along the trade lines and travel lines about the dragon. We could perhaps get some coin off that. And I will.
Right, but I guess after, and she's gonna be, I guess, carrying Bill out on a stretcher with Elric.
Yeah, no, I will follow them out, and that's gonna probably draw attention, I'm guessing.
So Callum, Elric, Moirin, you are all getting off the ship. Gus, what are you up to? Are you coming too?
Yeah, actually, he's helping carry the body. Or is that what we're doing on the stretcher?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll lock the ship up.
The giant open. It's a convertible where the top got ripped off at one point. But as you get off the ship with a stretcher on it, there doesn't seem to be. There's like a few people who look over, and some curious faces, but there's no sound of alarm or security guards coming at you or anything.
Yes.
And Weird, I guess, gets just at the front because now she's used to this and is like, I just need to look where I'm going and look like I know what I'm doing, and that tends to work really well here. So she's just gonna follow a more direct route to where she was directed to because she did realize what happened when she went 4 lefts. So she just goes 2 streets up to the porch that she just left and knocks. Or if the goblin is sitting there, just says, so we're back.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
She just walks by and then knocks on the door. She's like, that's fine. She's too tired for this now.
Pound on the door, and there doesn't seem to be an immediate response.
Is it because we didn't take the 4 lefts?
He just knocks again.
Still no answer.
Do you think they're asleep?
There's a moment where just Wherein stops and she's staring out into the darkness and she's really tired at this point.
What's the goblin doing?
Watching, sitting on their barrel.
Okay.
I think at some point she just goes, "What?" and pounds the door again.
There are a few sources of light that come on in the street from some windows here and there as you start screaming and pounding at like 2 a.m. Also, can Moyden and Elric give me insight checks?
Vana was secretly the goblin all along.
Yeah, that's a 10.
That is a 17? No.
Okay.
No.
No.
Sorry, it's a dirty 20. It's a 17 plus
Okay.
3.
That's not the same goblin as before.
Cool.
Someone else on the barrel. It has been several hours. So screaming and pounding, eventually a light turns on at the house you are banging on, and the door opens, and an older Goliath, akin in facial features to Vana, whips the door open with a blunderbuss slung under one arm and looks at y'all with wild eyes, and she's like, "Y'all are about to have a really good reason why you are doing this at 2 a.m.
And she steps away and she displays the stretcher with a dead Bill on it.
You don't have Bill covered in any way. You just have them
It's,
laying.
No, I don't
Bill's-
think so.
Bill's, I think.
Yeah, I thought we covered Bill when we put them on the cot originally, like we wrapped
I
them
don't
up.
know. Not like wrapped them to cover them, but just like
Just
there's a
Put
blanket.
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, there's just a blanket on them.
It's a Bill-sized blanket. But I think Callum also is like, we brought Bill.
Pardon the intrusion, ma'am.
Do me a
Oh,
kind
here,
gesture and step about 20 paces backwards so I can look at this stretcher.
Okay. Wherein dutifully counts the paces.
Still hoisting this blunderbuss towards y'all and looking up at one of the lit windows across the street. Steps out off the porch down towards the cot. Can y'all give me perception checks?
Or...
Would love to.
Oh yeah, no. Wherein is like kind of falling asleep on her feet, she's just swaying a little bit.
I suppose minus
she rolled
Gus
a
since it's
1.
more than 10 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. 11 for
She
Callum.
rolled a 1.
All right, 11, 1.
18.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
30, 20, and an 18. So Elric and Gus, you can hear very softly a kind of choked breath response as she kind of like does this with her hands and looks down, but you hear, "Oh, mon cher. Ah, damn. Nah. Mm-mm. All right. Bring her inside." She steps to the side to let you all into the house.
Exactly, and Wherein then just is like jolting along to get an end of the stretcher to then follow the instructions.
Yeah,
She
Callum
is
will grab
on
one.
fumes.
All right, picking the cot back up and heading inside, you find a automotive industry rust style building, like a Detroit house, in which all of the rooms are designed to not be stayed in for long periods of time. it is crowded. There are tchotchkes everywhere, and there are 7 children aged, various raced people running about. The house is amuck right now, and sitting at a chair next to a little like coffee table with 2 matchlock pistols is Vana, who was standing at the ready by the door as well. And you all bring the cot in.
We brought you the body. Where should we put this? We're just looking around, and she's like, "There is nowhere
You can go ahead and put her
sanitary
in
to
the
put
back
this."
alley for all I care. Child, I'm sorry about her. You can go ahead and
Is,
put her right down on the ground.
All right, and she just goes ahead and puts her down in a not a walkway, or attempts to out of the walkway so that people are less likely to step on her.
Yeah, low odds on not getting stepped on. There are
Mm.
children everywhere, and they are very curious now as 4 strangers walked into their house with a dead grandparent. Wait.
Ma'am,
Yeah, there is a Weirin trying to like not have them step on the body, and like subtly either directing them or lifting and moving them if they need help getting around the body.
I suppose I would like to know what happened. The older Goliath says.
Of course. And Kellum will look to the rest of the crew and he'll go, all of you have had a very busy day. I can take this. I rested earlier, and I know some of you should get some sleep. And he'll kind of remove his cowl. Ma'am, firstly, I'm so sorry for your loss. I know this can't be easy. We didn't know Bill long, but in the time we knew Bill, Bill had been part of our team, and, was important enough that we felt she needed to be brought home. As to how it happened, we were attacked mid-flight heading here by a dragon. It came out of nowhere. Our ship crashed, and we barely escaped with our lives.
Well, I'm confused. You were caught by a dragon. My love here's ship is too fast for any dragon to catch it.
It wasn't her shit, or at least not her original shit. She'd lost it, I think. She told us she lost it temporarily, and she's helping us on our ship. It's parked, and she like vaguely waves in the dock's direction. But she was piloting our ship.
What have you been up to, dear? All right. Well, I thank you for delivering her body to me.
Is there I know it's real expensive, but we were hoping not to leave her like this. Do you have the means? And if you don't, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'd like to help.
If there's anything we can supply or assist with in affording the cost to bring Bill back, if it's within our power.
Well, I suppose if you would like to assist us and the finances needed to bring Bill back, I won't say no. But I suppose Thank you for delivering her back to me. Yeah, thanks. You hear from the couch. Um,
I think Wherein at the mentioning of helping with coin and such is actually going to empty, I think, 40 of the current gold coins she has on her, only keeping about 5, and just put them in that savings jar that she had hauled back as well, and starts it off and then passes it on to Elric next, to again pass around as the initial contribution.
Elric, looking a bit reluctant, just kind of pulls out his coin purse, and it's rather hefty. Ah, 3 months back pay. It looks to Kellum. He's like, dispersers messed it up. Finance, jeez. And he drops, I'll say 400 in. Yeah.
Kellum literally opens empty pockets. Having
Goes
given
Kellum's,
the
goes
one
Kellum's
gold.
coin in the coin, getting side-eye Kellum. Can't even contribute anything.
She has everything she had on her as well. I don't know if that's going to be helpful or not.
She takes the jar from y'all and turns and hands it to Vana, who then turns and just pours the gold out onto the couch. And then underneath the couch, she pulls out a large sack of what sounds like a collection of stones of some type and puts it perfectly sized back into the jar and closes it. And as she's doing this, the older Goliath is. Now I know you are not a member of her crew, as none of them had the kindness to ever want to put coin towards something like this. So who the hell are you? As she asks you that, that is where we will go on a short break.
All right, let's get over to our break. We'll be back in how many minutes? 10?
Sure.
10 minutes. All right. See you in 10, everybody. Hello, everybody. We're back. It's been a few minutes. Exactly 10 minutes, one could say. But we have returned. Let's get back into it.
So, to recap what had happened in the first half of this session to everybody who's joining us now, and to just refresh everyone's memory, the party got to the combination country Shadelands / Arenthia and went down into the swampy Shadelands to find Bill's family and to get them resurrected. They did, in fact, find one of Bill's past loves or current loves. Never really got the details from Bill before she died, and what is possibly her child. And after the rest of the evening, as the sun is rising now, you all explain the last few days to these two colossi, who she does eventually introduce herself as Aegoria, wife to Bill, and offers y'all to stay on some couch. It's going to smell weird because there's a dead body in here, and there are children, which is like gonna keep you up. So up to you if you want to sleep here. But they explain to you that they will take care of Bill, and they will give you your money back, because that was more of just a see who these people are kind of gag. And trusting that you actually care, she will take care of Bill and their resurrection. If you want to donate back some of the money later, you can. Otherwise, she did let you know that someone in the family does have the ability to contact you if and when that happens.
Thank you so much.
Weirin ends up only taking half of what she gave back because she just insists, and making them keep 20 of the gold that she gave.
Gus takes Calum's going back.
Yeah.
Elric will leave 100 in there as well. Seeing the kids and the fact that they just lost their family member.
It's like, exactly, she's like, I just don't feel right about that.
Yeah.
All
Plus,
right.
he's like, Bill really pulled through, kind of saved us. It could have been a lot worse if they weren't piloting.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and long rest yourselves up, and know that Bill has been brought back to a family member, and they are going to take care of them however they see fit. If they bring Bill back, they will give you a call.
Mm-hmm.
That's one resurrection taken care of.
Yes, out of 2.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But the sun has risen. It's probably like high noon by now because you did end up finally going to bed at like 4 a.m. But it's daytime. Streets are busy again. You are long rested. The day is yours.
I think that Kellum would, because Kellum doesn't really need to sleep a full rest, would have gone out to get some information on, the fighting arena and the group that goes out hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's able to suss out where they are, or if the hunting party is looking for people for the day, he'll volunteer to assist them.
Okay. Give me an investigation check to find these people and chat them up.
Sure. That is 10.
Right. So while the rest of them sleep off their 8 hours, you do get some initial surveying done. The fight pit, if it exists here, no one is telling you about it. and you didn't find it on your walks around the town. But you do hear that the hunting party gathers uh, at a tavern called Knickknack's Paddywhack. Um, and that is where they go out. They usually go bright and early in the morning, come back late at night, divvy up the food amongst those who need it or want it, and then provide some pay for anyone who is doing it specifically just to get additional food for the city.
Okay. Would my companions have woken up before they would leave out, or leave out in the morning, or would they still be asleep?
Not without being tired still.
Okay.
This day at least would be too late.
Okay, so I will just take a note of where it is, and then by the time they have woken up, I will be, like, outside.
Good morning, Captain.
Yeah.
Good morning, Elric. Good morning, Myron.
Good
Sleep
afternoon, rather.
Yes. Well, while you all slept, I looked for the place where you go hunting for food or for coin. They meet at an inn called Knickknack Paddywhacks. That's all I really found out. I'm sorry, I don't know why I did that gasp.
Oh.
That gasp was a really weird thing. It was like I was reminiscing that I was about to say something else. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. And she's still a little disoriented. Definitely still looks like she's struggling to get awake. Did you find out, does that inn have food?
Well, the hunters do sell food to the city, but also they share it among the people that go. But I assume most inns have food.
I'm famished. Are you all hungry? I'm hungry.
It would be nice to get
For
a meal that's not
anything besides rations.
But rations also cost food or money.
But I mean, I've got some, and there's the temple. With them charging that much for that, I figure there's something I could do to make money, probably. I'll check there, but only after I've eaten. I need food.
Well, how about we all go get some food then? Perhaps we'll hear of other things in town, whether maybe some ruins are discovered, or maybe a dungeon undelved, or maybe some local fauna information, I suppose? Is that what people talk about at inns? I like
we
leaning
can
over to
get
Gus.
breakfast.
Yeah, do you not go to inns? Well, wait, that might be a stupid question. I mean, you're a soldier, right? You would have gone to, like, your mess hall, or I guess wherever soldiers go. I don't know. Which way is that inn?
That way.
Cool. Yeah, and she's gonna saunter down that way. Like, I shouldn't speak to people until I've had breakfast.
Yeah,
All right.
I will lead the way after ritual casting water breathing on all of them.
Okay. Water breathing equipped. You all head down the street to Knickknack's Paddywhack. It is a modest bar. They have some breads and fruit that they can provide. It's not much of a meal. Otherwise, there are restaurants in the city you can go to. Lifestyle around here would cost you 5 silver for a day's meal. Heading around. Otherwise, here at Knickknack's Paddywhack, there is a trio of people who own this establishment. The person who is here right now is a gnome wearing some sort of leg enhancement to give them an additional foot, as the calf section of their leg seems to be a little bit longer. The place itself isn't really occupied so much. There is hunting gear for sale here. And there is also a connected building that is a butcher. And whenever the hunting party comes back, they do have meals in the evening. Otherwise, simple tavern.
Very cool. So knowing that a lifestyle meal at, I guess, any of the nearby restaurants other than the inn, Waren's gonna probably say, you know what, my treat, because she definitely has 5 silver, and 5 silver for each of them, and lead them to the most promising looking place so they can actually like sit down and have like a proper breakfast while they plan, and I guess listen to other folks as they like chow down on actual food.
Nice. All right. So you go to a little nearby restaurant. They're serving some of the local meals. It seems to be some type of reptilian meats. They have a lot of berries in their meal selection, various greens. It's a pretty decent meal. This is a well-off city. It is a trade hub, so it has access to quite a lot. And you all get your bellies filled for the day.
Gus eats
Exactly.
ferociously, this being the first real meal he's eaten in a very, very, very long time.
Waren almost seems to match that veracity because she's been going again on fumes as of all of yesterday, and she's just, it is a little shark-like the way it disappears. But she does, like, when it comes to an end, she's like patting her napkin and go, excuse me. But she looks so much better after that. Like, her bright cheeriness is back, and she's like, okay, we can do it.
Having eaten only half of his meal, he'll slide it to Gus. Be like,
I was going to finish your sentence by saying Gus takes it, but yeah.
Well, now we know it's consensual. Good.
Yep.
You're hungry. Yes.
It's, yeah. I haven't eaten food this good in a very long time.
If I might ask, what were you doing before this that made you eat in such dire needs?
I was in the hole. The day you met me is the first day I was a free man in I don't know how many years. I spent I told you about the training I had in beatings. That wasn't a station, that wasn't an appointment, I was a prisoner.
And what was your crime?
That's a good question.
Well, I'm sorry that your first day with freedom, you ended up mixed up in all this.
Well,
You don't know why you were there?
I know why I
It's
was
just-
there. I don't know what my crime was.
Well,
Are you saying that you were convicted wrongly or not convicted at all?
Let's just leave it at guilt is in the eyes of the powerful.
Waren looks dissatisfied with this answer.
Elric, or not Elric? I'm not Elric. I'm Kellum.
She's looking at Kellum
Yeah.
like, I don't like
Kellum
this
is
sound
thinking
of
back
that.
to the tobacco scenery that they witnessed. I think there's probably some correlation going on in Kellum's mind, but I don't think it is solidified into anything.
Mhm.
But I think Kellum just kind of gives like a nod and kind of lets the subject lie. So we still have money to make now that we've all eaten.
Aye.
Let's put our heads together and come up with a plan, I suppose.
Well, what skills do we have?
I can set things on fire and drive a airship.
I'm pretty good at hitting things and getting hit.
I look to Elric as she slowly discovers she is the one with literally the most marketable skills in this entire group.
I'm a soldier, plain and simple.
Well, I'm sure there are jobs that involve all those things, but probably not too many that stick out to people. I can do a lot of basic medical attention. I can whip up potions. I can fix most simple things. I can work most simple things. I can fish. I can swim. Can any of you swim?
I could walk underneath the water and not drown for 24 hours, as can all of you. That spell I make you all stand in a circle with every morning keeps you from drowning.
Oh, you know you don't have to do that for me, right?
I mean, of course I knew that. It was like it's like a crew bonding exercise. Think of it that way.
Okay. And she just like looks at you funnily. You see her gills like move a little bit, and she's like, "Okay, whatever you want to do, bro."
But then I think Kellum like has a thought and he goes, "But if you were paralyzed, and couldn't, I don't know how gills work. I'm not going to lie to you. But you know, if you happen to be underwater or unconscious, and I don't know if you have to be moving on the gill for gills to work, you know, it might keep you from drowning. I don't know."
Fine underwater. So there's that. She does look hopefully to either of you of can you swim?
We
Do
do
you
have
know how to swim,
information.
Gus?
Been a very long time since I tried.
Okay. Good to know. I'm gonna mark us down for no more water landings. Just preemptively. For now. And in fact, just a blanket, perhaps, rule that none of you go too close to the water, generally speaking. Just as a safety precaution. So what would you like to do?
Well,
Because I mean, you could probably be useful with your flames. There could be any sort of like trash disposal would be useful. Any blacksmith might find you useful. I suppose they might be able to use you in a kitchen or two, depending on how they're using it.
that is a vast underestimation of my abilities to set things on fire. But this is
Not
a
really
trade hub.
very useful. That's true. What do we have to
And-
trade though?
Information. We know where a dragon is located on potentially a trade route that people may be trying to send goods. That could be worth something to the right person.
I
Especially,
suppose. How are you going to be able to prove it to them then?
I mean, we have our ship.
I mean, but that could have happened by anything.
A whale, even.
Or us running into any other ship. I mean, they could just think we're pirates lying to them to lure them out there and take their stuff.
By telling them not to go there. I mean,
Potential.
suppose.
I don't know how these people think, but I don't think they'd like pay money for people telling them about it. Or at least I'm not certain they would. You can always try.
That's true.
There's no harm in trying.
That is true. Let's see. Maybe there's a library. Maybe there are some ruins nearby. That's what adventurers do, right? I mean, do they delve?
Well, this is a trade hub. I suppose.
Or
They're
perhaps
bound
a
to have
sunken
something
wreck?
like that. But we've just established that none of you should be near water, probably.
Right. Could be a sky shipwreck.
Aye, but then that would be in the air. Maybe we really should get our plane. Really should fix that. The dock's bound to have work all the time. Loading, unloading, taking inventory for things. The fishing ships. People getting hurt, loading and unloading things.
That's true. We could ask the innkeeper if there's any jobs or a job board.
Aye, that's a good one. Elric, can you swim?
I can.
Thank goodness. And there is a moment where it's just like, oh my god, thank you. Someone else can swim.
Canonically, going forward is like the first 20 minutes of our day. Anytime we're near water, like swimming lessons. Like,
I feel like Myrna's definitely like lodging that's stewing in the back of her mind of like exactly how much water safety do I have to go over with these people. It feels like a lot.
I guess I'll wave down either like the innkeeper or whoever's been kind of works here for the establishment.
Yes.
Hello. So we're new in town, but we might be here for a little bit, and we were wondering if you know of any work opportunities for those experienced in dangerous professions, I suppose, would be not criminally dangerous, but like guard work or ex-military service.
Well, we got a hunting group that comes out in the mornings. You're more than welcome to team up with that. They got someone who you can talk to about payments and all that kind of stuff. I do believe Doshus is hiring if you're looking for a part-time job. However, otherwise, most of the things that I can think of are more for residents, not y'all tourist types.
Is there a bounty
When is
board
that
or
hunting
anything? Oh, after you.
Oh no, you first.
Is there a bounty board anywhere in town or anything like that?
Oh, that's mighty funny. Is there a bounty board in town?
That's the best answer I've ever received.
Oh, you're serious? Oh, clearly not from around here, nor have you been here before. Well, we don't take kindly to most traditional positions of power, and most police forces are usually just a source of power enforcement. We don't do that kind of stuff here.
Oh, yes.
So if you got your crimes and you're not doing anything bad in our town, well, we ain't gonna do anything to stop you.
That's perfect. I was more worried if there were any bounties on dangerous beasts in the area.
You're going to have to ask the hunting party for that.
I don't suppose there's any sort of rules about performing medicine on people in this town, are there?
Well, yes, there is. In fact, you have to be a member of the clergy or have a type of medicinal license from the country of Laurentia.
That's unfortunate. Thank you, though.
You're most welcome.
So,
Do you have licenses for anything else? Or I suppose any usual professions?
Are you asking like the Kellum Taylor or the patron?
patron who is answering about medical licenses.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like, that's cool. I need a medical license. Do I need a license for anything else?
Well, I suppose if
Like,
you're doing a job what requires licensing, then you're gonna need to get yourself a license.
And where's that office then in this town then?
Legal district. Go ahead and go 7 blocks down the main road, and you'll see some signs for it.
Thank you very much. Are there? No, I'll ask them there. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Oh, and I'm so sorry. You're very rude. What's your name?
Well, my name is Gaffon.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for all your help and all of your assistance.
You're most welcome.
So, what do you all think we should do? Because seems to me we could wait for that hunting party to get back. Go to this legal district. I think we might find more there. Because everything I can think to do to make any sort of money would probably require me having some sort of license to do something for folks. I'm not entirely sure how well they'll receive me just sort of setting up somewhere.
I mean, I suppose the only other thing I can think of is that we buy rations and then go somewhere else. Elric, what do you think?
Well, part of my training was hunting and survival. I suppose that would be the direction I go in. I'm not too keen on traveling too far unless we do change locations entirely, as, well, this place seems to not care about my face whatsoever. And he shows, like, his mantle isn't on. And they don't have a bounty board. Don't forget, Captain, we are being hunted.
How could I forget?
It might be best to just lay a bit low. I mean, we still have to repair the ship a little bit and find food and get money of any sort. And at least we do have that hunting party that we can all go on.
And we also need to potentially hire another pilot. I don't know if I can fly this ship alone.
Another thing keeping us here. What say you, Gus?
Well, I'm not in any hurry to get back on that airship. If we can scrape out what we can here, we might as well try the hunting party. Seems like the best lead we have.
I guess in the meantime, I think I want to head to that legal district and see how hard it is to get a license for healing. Because, well, that sounded pretty lucrative. And it's definitely something I can do.
And the hunting
That
party
doesn't require waiting for that, so.
Yeah, the hunting party won't be back until evening, and they leave in the morning. So, we have plenty of time. Might as well do that now. Perhaps, if there's a library, I'd like to stop by that and maybe read up on the area a little bit. See if there's anything interesting.
Sounds like a plan.
If we're all splitting up and kind of going separate directions, Gus is going to go back to the ship and doff his plate mail armor, putting back on his tattered robes. And he's going to spend the rest of the afternoon just sitting out in front of the street, out on the edge of the docks with a cup.
Nice.
Yep, he's gonna go full blind beggar on us.
Yeah.
See how much he can get.
Elric will go with Murin, and if they happen to pass any sort of shop in which they deal with animals, he might stop in to see if, I don't know, there's some sort of insight on how to give comfort to a drake who might be having some troubles.
Okay. So let's see here. Let me do some quick notes. We've got Kellum and Moyden are going to look for libraries and legals.
Yes.
Okay. And then Gus is going to do Ye Ol' Beggar.
By the ship, essentially, or very close by to the
And
ship.
then Elric, you are looking to go to like a ranger supply or an animal house to get some help.
One more specific thing Gus is doing. He is staying within range of the ship. Like he's kind of at the end of the dock that the ship's parked at, or whatever the access point to the ship would be, so he can keep an eye on what's coming back and forth there. Because none of us are on the ship. So.
All right. So let's start with Gus. I need. Let's see here. Where is begging? All right. Give me a persuasion check.
That is a 10.
A 10. Okay. A 10. Okay. You get some sympathy from people, and money is offered, as well as some people will bring you meals. Seeing you out and about, you notice that you are the only beggar on the docks. You haven't really seen a lot of like houseless or downtrodden in this city. Go ahead and you get a total of 2 gold in various silvers and coppers.
Yep.
And on top of that, some random rumors that you hear from passersby. You hear one person complaining about the train no longer being on its normal schedule. Something went down in topsoil that caused some problems. You hear other people complaining about their clocks not working, being really weird. You hear another rumor about the Robichaux, the halfling at the church, possibly is having extramarital affairs. You also hear that Knick Knack is in the market of buying wax. And then you also hear that the hunting crew is going for a big game tomorrow. Meanwhile,
I take notes of the blackmail material.
all right. Need me to repeat any of that, or you got it all?
I think I got it.
Okay. Meanwhile, down in what looks to be more of a recently constructed part of the city, Kellum and Moylan are looking to find a city hall / public library. And upon finding this location, the library is well stocked in varying quality of books. There is a take a book, leave a book type policy here. So some travelers will drop off things that they are finished with. Some things are very well worn. Some things are brand new. There are new shipments of books too. So there are fresh content. So long as you provide some due, some coin to your personal comfort, you are allowed to publicly access this library and use any of its books. What type of reading material are you looking for?
I think Callum's looking for local history, anything to do with the general area that may have potential ability to get coin or discover. He would be reading about maybe the local customs and cuisine. But outside of that, I think he just finds comfort in reading, so he's just trying to gain trivia.
Nice. Nice. Give me an investigation check. See what kind of fun trivia you learn.
All right. That's a 22.
Nice. So, local history is not well kept, as this is a commune and does not want to have much awareness of who is in the town, what the town is up to, etc. for outsiders. But you do read some books about treasure hunters and some temple adventurers and stuff like that. Like there was at some point potential for finding like ruins and treasures and all that kind of stuff from collapsed parts of Larenthia that fell down into the Shadelands back during the bloodletting. You also gather that the local fauna is rather aggressive. There's always a bigger fish. And so you see a wide variety of reptilian creatures. Some that are bipedal, some that are the size of elephants. There are also various amphibians, poisonous plants, and there is a type of disease that is spread by one of the local hornets here. So it is advised to have anti-venom when going out and about. And you also see that through reading, the Silver Shard Isles frequent this city quite a lot. Seems like there's a connected trade network through there. And then Moirin, you were looking to get some paperwork filled out. It is 25 gold pieces to sign and receive a permit to use healing magic in the city of Forked Tongue.
I note this, and I put my hands on the counter wherever I'm filling this out after I hear that number, and I tell them very sweetly, well, I only have 23. Would you be able to, I don't know, do you take trades? And she like starts fiddling with something. She pops open her leg and just like fishes out a potion that is clearly magical in nature.
I am not the type of person who does those exchanges. You can go to the market and get some coin there for your potion. Otherwise, I can't change the price of how our government works.
You know, never mind. That's a silly question. Or is it? No, I'll ask later. What was my question? She just stands there a moment because I absolutely did. There was another thing I wanted to ask here.
Well, clearly it wasn't too important.
No, I hate it when this happens. How long are you open? Like, could I just take this? And she like gestures to the paperwork and bring it back to you?
This is a 24-hour city, so yes, there will always be someone.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's lovely to know. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
She takes the paperwork and steps outside. There was something I was going to ask these people, and I now cannot remember, and it makes me so mad.
All right, so while you pace back and forth trying to figure that out, we will shift the camera over.
What's going on?
No, we won't shift the camera over in that direction yet. Callum, you have been reading for hours, or at least an hour or two, and do see out one of the windows of the library on the sidewalk outside of this building, pacing back and forth, frustrated, is Moyden.
I will go check on my
Finally.
friend as the only person in
With-
this party with no gold.
With an epiphany, she just stands up. Fishing! That's what it was. Anyway, but then as she does that, she also notices Callum in the middle of the road and would hurry over to him. Her arms are filled with paper.
I love the enthusiasm over paper. That's it's always nice to get the.
Oh no,
smell
this
of
is
the book.
this is the medical license paperwork. It's 25 gold to file, but I've only got 23 from this morning. I'm gonna have to go sell something. I think it's probably legal. They didn't seem too shocked. So, yeah. Anyway, did you find what you were looking for?
I mean, I found a plethora of knowledge, which is really all you need. Did you know that there are hornets in these woods that carry disease?
Hornets.
Yes.
Really?
Apparently, people going out into the wilderness, which is it's very lucky we didn't encounter these while you were going through the marsh. That would have been very terrible. But they carry a disease that you need a anti-venom that you can most likely purchase in town or is made here locally. Also, reptilians.
Never mind. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, also, there's very big elephant-sized reptiles in the woods, and they're very aggressive, apparently. So that's interesting. And apparently there are a lot of ruins and treasures, or at least there used to be, ruins and treasures that collapsed into the Shadelands during the bloodletting.
Interesting.
What types
So
of...
you're sure that's an anti-venom and the hornets are carrying a disease?
It did say disease in the book, correct?
Yes.
The book said disease.
Oh, clear. I want to find that book, but that's later. I need to keep on track. I've got too many things in my head, and I'm going to forget again.
No worries. Also, the main trade route is to the Silver Shard Isles.
Right.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Do you? I mean, I don't have any gold. But do you need something to sell, or how much gold do you need?
Well, I mean, only 2. I've got 23 gold. I need 25. But I've got a few potions. I've been saving them up. So I should probably be able to find someone who'll take them. So I think I'm going to do that. And then file this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go... What was that book called that you found the bit about the hornets in?
Ouch! What stung me? Volume 4.
Excellent.
A great success in my collection.
Precisely. So...
Do you need company
Your
when you're going?
operations. I wouldn't mind.
Well,
You're perfectly welcome to come along.
Well, strange town, always good to go in pairs, I think. That's what people say.
Certainly. And so, yeah, she's gonna first go and find herself that market. And look for perhaps a potion seller.
All right. So while you are looking to sell your potions, I'm trying to figure out the best order of operations here. So, back to Gus real quick as you were collecting coin from people passing by. Eventually, you hear a chuckle. Ain't that some shit?
Gus is kind of just keep his shoulder turned a little bit and keep up what he's doing, but definitely paying attention. trying to ignore them without pointedly ignoring them.
Mhm. Yeah. This person sits down on the ground next to you. You feel that they are of tall humanoid stature, possibly a Goliath. The voice seems familiar. Well, it seems your bounty went up. In case you were curious.
What is that now?
Well, see, that's the fun thing. Now you can just make a demand at the kingdom. Got me curious. What the hell are you even wanted for? You know, what kind of person? What kind of person is wanted so badly that they ain't a limit on what they are willing to spend?
You'd have to ask who wants me.
Well, I know who wants you. I read the bounties.
You're gonna have to ask them why they set the bounty so high. I'm just an old man.
Yeah, well, I don't feel like doing that. So where you going next?
Well, I'll be here for a while.
Probably is a wise move. So, you know, the way this city operates.
How does this city operate?
Well, I know you don't have the capacity to read currently, but ain't no bounty boards in town. This ain't that kind of city, you know.
That's
Not many people gonna be calling the lawman for anything.
That's a good reason to be here. As good as any, I guess.
Yeah, I can't do my job here. They got laws against chasing people through their cities.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm gonna get on out of here. I'll be seeing you around, Gus.
Yeah, stop by whenever.
Make a perception check.
Ooh, 19.
All right. You feel a small object being slid into a pocket in your rags as they go to leave.
I do not react.
All right. So eventually they leave beyond your blind sense and you don't even hear them anymore. And you go about your business. What types of potions are you trying to sell, Moyden?
She has a potion, 2 potions of greater healing. She's more looking to see what one of them's gonna get her. If that gets her enough.
Well, let's see here. Greater healing, they probably offer 80 gold.
Ooh, that's nice. It's good to know. So yeah, she's gonna sell precisely one of those, and she is going to ask after the Hornet antivenom.
Oh, yep, we got those here. Let me pull up the price on antivenom. Equipment. All right. Well, it's 15 gold a vial. And they have them in swaths. It's like their local bug spray.
Gotcha. She actually just asks, so what are these hornets like exactly? I've never heard of them before, and I heard they can give you a disease, but you use an antitoxin to get rid of it. That's new for me.
Anti-venom. Nah, it's
Mhm.
so the venom itself causes an infection that leaves your wounds open for the disease that rests on the outside of their saliva. So
Oh,
the
I
venom itself,
see.
not that big of a problem. It leaves a nasty rash. But if you get that rash, well then, you're gonna catch something worse.
Ah, okay. That makes a lot more sense. And she just like files that back into medical knowledge. So could I get let's be safe. Get me 2 rounds of that then. The 2 of the anti-venom.
All right, that's 30 gold.
All right. So there is some exchangings going on here of the shells. And I was wondering, what's the fishing like around here?
Well,
I mean,
dangerous as
everyone talks
shit.
about. Oh, aye. Why so?
Oh, well, damn near everything in there can kill you. Yeah, most of it's bigger than you, too.
Oh, really? Could you
Yeah.
tell me more about that?
Certainly. Well, so we got these large snake-like things that you can find in the river. There are some strange lobster-like crabs that we have around here. We call them chews. There are also the occasional large creature from the sea, unidentifiable, what comes onto shore to wreak havoc. But this only happens during most shifts, so we should be fine otherwise.
And about the shifts, have you noticed them going a bit weird?
No?
Like, there was one, not like, how many days was it? There was one a week ago for the air, and then another one, was it also air the second time? And it flipped the other way? Or was it water the
It
second
was
time?
water and
There
then
were two.
chaos.
Water and then chaos.
Mhm.
Great. Yeah, so you notice, so like about a week ago, there was a water shift, and then less than that, like say 3 days ago, the whole thing just went crazy. Did that
Well, I
happen here?
suppose there was a little bit of a weird weather going on, but we ain't got a shift schedule for another 13 months.
That's what I'm saying. Um, when everything I noticed because my clock went strange right about then. Did that also happen here? Is anyone else having trouble with that?
I suppose I heard people talk about it around in the town. I don't know a timekeeping device myself, so my clock necessarily ain't broke.
Anyway, thank you so much for your time. Very
Y'all
good doing
welcome.
business with you.
Speaking of business, a bell rings on a door as it swings open, and Elric, you have finally found a shop in question that might be able to help you. It's a bit musty in here and dimly lit, as there is only one window. There are taxidermied creatures about, large guns and crossbows mounted on walls with little price placards, um, different traps and bombs, tools. There are also a few animals just casually moving about. Holding on to the top of a door frame is a sloth, just kind of watching people pass underneath. There is a turtle in the fountain, as well as a snake running up the corner of one of the walls here. And the shopkeep themselves has their legs up and crossed on a stool nearby, but they have quite a lot of hair on their hips and legs, and have hooves for feet. And they are reading some sort of scroll or letter as you come in.
Moving up to where they are, Elric will clear his throat in hopes to get their attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, pardon me, but I have been having some trouble with my working companion. They seem to be in some sort of distress. I was wondering if perhaps you had something here that could help me with that.
Mm. Also, what type of companion are we talking about?
Well, they are close to reptilian in nature, I would say.
Nice.
Connected to the elements, I think. I'm not entirely schooled up on them. They're relatively new, still learning.
So, what, do you not know the name of the species you work with?
Hmm, uh, it's a it's a Drake, and he says this last word lower.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
A Drake.
Sure, it isn't just a large lizard you found somewhere.
Well, it could be.
Where is your? Do you have your pet or companion here with you?
I could, but that depends on how you're about to react.
I quit. Well, I mean, like I said, if you don't know what this thing is, you think it's a drake, which, right? That'd be wild. Um, you bring it in. I'll take a look, see what we can do. I don't want to prescribe wrong medicines and all that kind of stuff.
I do truly appreciate that. And Elric, I guess, looking at a clear spot, will just say, Rexandriel, and the Drake will be summoned into the shop.
Summoned into the area is Rixandra Gill, who stretches their little wingies and just little acid snot out on the floor, and the the satyr hops off of their stool, knocking over some stuff, and they're like, "Get the fuck out! No! What? No! No!"
Elric will turn to the door and lock it, and then turn back around and, yep.
What the fuck is about to go down here? That's an
It's
actual tiny little dragon right there.
Yes, but don't freak out. He's nice.
And they're already late on that.
He seems to be calm and nice. He's just a little sick, I think, and yeah, I really need some help here. I'm a bit out of my league. So can you help?
I have so many questions. What? It's small. Is this like a baby?
Well, I did. It did hatch from an egg, I think. The egg happened to be in my possession. Didn't know that's
You
what it
saw how
was.
it was born.
Kind of, yeah. Um, there was an explosion, and fire, and he points to his face.
So they explode into existence. I suppose that would make sense. I This is very far outside of my wheelhouse right now, but I'd love to tell some people about this, and they would be much more helpful.
Look, okay, perhaps I should start over. And he holds out his hand and he says, "My name is Elrond, Elrond, um, and this is my companion Rexandrigil. The people that you're about to tell, or would like to tell, uh, can they be trusted?"
Give me a deception check on Elrond real quick.
Sure. Yeah, I did not expect that to go well.
Okay, Elrond. You can call me Panther Snatch. Eh, yes, I'm sorry. I'm still like really overwhelmed right now, but they are my mentors, so I mean obviously I would trust them. One of them is a very skilled ranger and the other one is a druid of the forest. A lot of like well, I don't know the word for it, implications on that thing right there.
You're telling me this is beyond my skill.
Like clopping their hooves on the ground nervously. But yes, no, I can close up and I can call them. Call for them, and it just threw up like an icicle. What's up? What is? Oh my god!
I don't know. I don't know. I think it has something to do with these shifts or weird weather or whatever's going on. But I'm really putting my trust into you, Panther Snatch, and I don't do that often. But it's for a friend, and I tell you this in the most sincere way possible. If you fuck me over, we will burn down your shop.
Right. Weird that you started by lying about your name, then dropping a trust bomb, and then following it up with a threat. Can't exactly read you right now, but
That's the point.
Don't let it. Can you make it not do stuff? Can you make it not like burn my house down, my shop while I'm gone?
Elric picks it up and like puts it in his mantle. He's like, "I will try."
Okay. Yeah, I'll be back. Should take me not too long. Cool. I'm all right. Don't. They open the door to the shop, flip open over their open close sign, and fumble with some keys real quick and like lock the door and shut it as you can hear the tick, 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 tick of their hooves as they disappear somewhere.
Looking down at Rexandrigil, Elric says, "This is first for me, but hopefully this will help." And his hand begins to twitch. And I think as he does so, Rexandrigil, noticing this, nuzzles his jawline.
Uh-huh.
And the twitch stops.
As you are grounded and centered, with the assistance of Rexandrigil, there is the sound of multiple people chatting and heading towards the building that you are in, Elric. But we will find out who is on the other side of the door next session.
The suspense! Right. Is that building gonna get burned down?
I'm just really glad I didn't get pummeled into unconsciousness again.
Yeah.
So I just took my armor off again.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, it happens. Recurring villains. It's what happens when you don't finish the job the first time.
I know.
All right. Let's get some music on, because it's that time of the night that we have to say goodbye. And that's a happy and sad feeling. So hello everybody, it's me, Graham, or Graham Crackers. For those of you tuning in, thank you so much. This experience wouldn't be the same without all of you lovely people in the chat who make it all possible. I had the delight of playing Captain Kellum Brightstar, your favorite, or maybe not so favorite, wizard. But, you know, I am joined by a fantastic and phenomenal cast, while they need no introductions whatsoever, because they're all world famous, renowned, and amazing beings who should be already supporting. I'd like to know 3 things from all of them. And that is, who are they? Where can we find them? And what are some passion projects they're working on, if any, that we can support? These friends support friends, and that's important.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Kari. You can find me here every Friday at this same great time, same great place. You can also find me here on occasion on Tuesdays in the Anarian's Rest campaign where I play Karis, the Tiefling Wizard. Again, on occasion. Other than that, I don't really have any other projects going on other than I'm moving house, hooray. But that's it. Which you can't support me in other than saying, Godspeed and all that good stuff. It's a lot, but it's gonna be great when I move. But I will still be here, same great time, same great place. And I'm super excited for next time.
Well, Godspeed, Murin. Hello, everyone. Jeremy, Dane Darkstride. You can find me under that handle in various social media platforms. However, there's not a whole lot going on them currently, as I am very busy with life and all sorts of other stuff. I did have the privilege of playing with these fine folk once again as Elric Freyson, and yeah, no other projects currently in the works, but possibly down the line there might be 1 or 2 on the way. But I appreciate you, and I hope you all enjoyed tonight's episode.
Hi, I'm Riley. I played the Blind Paladin Gus today. This is the only place you're going to find me is right here on Friday nights. I don't have a lot of projects going on the internet that you can support, but if anybody knows anything about the old Techniques stereo receivers from the 1970s, particularly the 77 model, I'm restoring one right now, and it's going poorly. Other than that, who's after me?
All right, that's me, Media Flare. I am a voice actor and streamer. I have finally got my setup back together, so you should be seeing me on my own Twitch channel again soon. I also have a upcoming Sunday stream. We will let you know when we're actually starting here shortly. Otherwise, you can find me here on Fridays.
Request your prompt responses.
That is going on for me right now in life.
My goodness. All right. And again, hi everybody. I'm Graham. And, if you'll want to support me, I'm going to do my supports last. You know why? Because you can find me here. You can find me here every Tuesday, DMing Shards of Anarin and Anarin's Rest, 2 consecutive campaigns set in the same universe that have not overlapped at any point. Hard to say if they're in the same world at this point. But, at 7:30 Eastern Standard in 2 weeks, you can find me here for Anarin's Rest, and at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard next week, you can find me for Shards of Anarin, where I get to bully my friends, and maybe I'll make them cry, maybe they'll make me cry again. You never know with this group. But one thing I can say is, they told me last week I should put a tweet out 2 weeks in advance saying, every like this tweet gets, I'm going to up the monster's HP by 20. Because apparently I'm not good enough. So, help my dreams become a reality, and hurt them really badly. So that I don't get smited and have the paladin kill my Hydra in 2 turns. But, that's enough about me. Now onto the weekend, our favorite time of the year. So, for all of you out there, we aren't going to do our raid tonight, unfortunately, but what we are going to do is send you off with some good vibes. So, until next time we see you, it's not goodbye forever, it is just goodbye for now. So, stay happy, stay hydrated, and we'll see you soon. So, until next time, take care, and take care of yourself. Bye for now.